KBNOnDemand.com.
We them boys. We them boys.
All right, I have no idea what the heck is going on, but I'm happy to be doing it.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
Your mic's not on.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on KBN.
That's Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman to my left. We're streaming on YouTube, I believe, at ESPN Milwaukee as the Milwaukee Brewers finish up their spring training game right now. Brad Nortman, what up?
Hey, I mean, we are dealing with all sorts of different obstacles and hurdles today. First, it was a warm, and I mean warm, borderline hot studio. We walk into this, our normal ESPN studio with Gruber One Call, That's All Studios.
Is this working?
And
I don't see us on YouTube. That's fine.
We're here. We're on YouTube. We're live.
All right, what up?
okay, so anyway, we walk in here, and it smells like Kyle's fries.
It does.
So after yesterday, after giving you a hard time, which was deserved, we walk in here.
You have to let the audience know what you gave me a hard time for, which really wasn't that bad.
Well,
it was terrible.
It was kind of rough.
It was bad.
It definitely took over the smell of the room. Ben brought in his chicken and rice. That was sort of a Chinese dish, which smelled good to start, but then he finished it, threw it in the open air recycling bin, and definitely absorbed the smell of the rest of the room. Now we've got Kyle doing
French
the same
fry
thing.
game.
So what's the situation with the fries?
I don't know. I just ate fries. I was eating fries in here. I don't know.
Just now you were doing this?
No. During the breaks of our 2 to 4 Madison only show, Kyle would leave our hot studio to come eat fries in here. Why didn't you have the fries out in the area where it wasn't in the studio where we were going to be going from 4 to 5?
Excuse me. First and foremost, I don't even smell anything. Y'all smell it, so that's perfectly fine. Secondly, you are one to talk. You can't say nothing because you came in here with that seafood, sushi, fish, rice,
was chicken teriyaki rice
whatever
bowl.
it was, and you threw it in the garbage.
And you guys are calling it Chinese, being disrespectful to the actual food it was.
What was it?
Japanese.
Okay, Japanese. My apologies. Japanese food. I don't know. There's literally 3. You got Vietnamese, Japanese, Chinese. You got all different options.
This doesn't mean you should just get them wrong, Kyle.
I thought that's what
just
it was.
Just because it's Black History Month, you got to respect everyone else, too.
I apologize. I respect everybody else at all times.
But just because I do something wrong doesn't mean I can't have an opinion moving forward.
I ate French fries. I apologize.
Brad is telling us
can't even smell.
It's smellier than what mine was yesterday.
Yeah, why didn't you eat it in the kitchen area?
Because I didn't want to leave my food out in the kitchen area. I don't want people touching my food. I want my food to be in a protected, safe area.
But there's like lockers outside these doors. That you
why didn't you leave them like in our little green room?
Because I didn't want somebody to randomly say, "Oh, somebody left their food here," so I put it in a safe area. I knew nobody was going to come in, and so I ate in peace.
You really don't smell anything?
Maybe
that's because it's still in his mouth, lingering.
I guess
the French fries.
Maybe because I don't know what it smells like. Grease? I don't even know.
Yeah, it smells like old potato.
Yeah, greasy potatoes.
Oh, okay, well.
I would say 800-990-3776, but you would only be able to talk to Chris Larson on the phone and not put you through to YouTube. I don't believe that would work. I think it'd be fun to try out one day. That's why I'm saying it right now with executive producer Ashton Rotman looking at me in the eyes. But you can get us on YouTube only here. What was that, Chris?
One day we'll have that capability.
Oh, one day we will have that capability. Is that on the air or not? This is fun for me to figure out. Can you be on the air? Apparently, Chris Larson cannot be on the air. You're not going to be able to hear anything, Kyle. I can just talk to Chris.
See, I'm smart. Unlike you guys, I just literally went to YouTube and plugged my headphones up to YouTube so I can just make sure we're on air and just to check.
I know we are.
I see us on
Yeah,
air.
no, I know, but just like listen as well. You ask, "Oh yeah, can you hear me?"
Oh, you can also. This is how it works. I see Garrett is in the chat. I see people are watching. Hey, everyone who's watching, please chat Kyle and say he's dumb. Everyone who's there, Kyle is dumb and should not have brought French fries into our studio.
This is so interesting that all of 24 hours ago, this man brought food in here and threw it in the garbage.
There can be a new story in a 24-hour cycle. It's kind of how the news cycle works.
But now I'm dumb for sitting here and eating food in here.
Well, to call somebody out and then to make a mistake the next day, I think is worse.
No, they're two different things. One thing is somebody eating in here. Let me finish. There's
Why are you
one
so
thing
mad?
of somebody eating in here. There's another thing of somebody throwing their food, not the empty bowl, but leftover food into a recycling bin in somewhere. Those are two different crimes that people committed. We both did the same thing with eat. You the one who just allowed it to linger and try to throw it in the garbage in here.
So where'd you throw it away? You throw it away in the kitchen?
No, I didn't throw it away yet.
Ron chimes in, Kyle, I can't hear any of this. They are lying to you. Garrett chimes in at Kyle, you aren't dumb, but really angry. I think all of those things are maybe true. We'll find out. We did have a poll as we were going through some combine questions from the NFL Combine over the last 5 to 10 years. The first one being, would you rather be a cat or a dog? I think we're all in agreement here. I did go contrarian to see how my answer would work. I'd rather be a dog in that answer.
That almost feels like too much of a softball, given how hard these questions are. Because the bus question, the search history
That's
question,
why I wanted to go to
those
the
are
bus
tough.
question next. Like, you are on a bus in the Alaskan mountains, and you have to figure out where you would sit on the bus. Where are you sitting? That one has a lot of different angles.
Yeah, there's like the psychology to those kind of questions of where are you comfortable? Do you want to be in control? Do you like being around people? Because somebody might say, I don't want to be around anyone. I want to be in the back. Like, I don't want to deal with anybody. So you're going to get an interesting view into someone's brain based on how they answer those questions.
Yeah, this is all just very weird that they ask these questions, and I'm glad they're moving away from it because it all seems very pointless. Like, I don't think Brett Favre's answer is the reason why he became an all-time great quarterback. I don't think, the fact that
C.J. Stroud's test didn't matter.
it did. A lot of people's tests don't matter at all. I think it's all a lot of waste of time. I mean, there's one thing to ask somebody real sensible questions about their past and ask them questions about the fact of leadership, but asking somebody about their search history, unless you're like the FBI trying to figure something out, that's a complete waste of time. Now, asking somebody, how late do you stay up playing video games? How late do you stay up searching things on the internet? That's one thing, but these type of questions are
Well, there's another one I have for you. What type of fish would you be if you would be a fish?
Now, this is an interesting component, too, because someone might say, like, a whale or a dolphin. Those are not fish. Those are mammals. So I wonder if that's a component to it, too. So for me, I would say, what type of fish would I be?
Goldfish.
Short memory?
10-second memory.
10-second memory. Be a good thing if you're a punter. I would say, I feel like I would be... That's a good one.
Right now you're failing.
Give me a minute.
You are failing right now.
I want to get it right.
I mean, there's one easy one.
A
shark.
Yeah, but that's not an honest answer for me. I wouldn't be a shark.
You're going to be a shark even as a punter, because even after I punt the ball, my job isn't just to put it inside the 20. If they happen to get through the special teams, I'm the last line of defense. I'm the shark that will bite the ankle of anyone who gets by my 10 teammates and not let them into the end zone. Boom. Nailed it as a punter.
Yeah, that's good. But you have to be truthful, though. Like, you can't, if you don't feel like you're a shark, I wouldn't say I'm a shark personality.
I don't know enough about fish, to be honest, to answer this.
Yeah, swordfish, hammerhead shark, maybe, because you're bulldozing people over or something like that.
Like barracuda. Barracuda would be fun.
Kyle's just a meathead. He keeps saying pit bull, Rottweiler, hammerhead shark.
About, man. Football's about physicality, man. It's about having intensity. It's about never backing down. That's
and
what
then
you
another
want.
one was, last one we will discuss from the combine, boxers or briefs.
That's a good one. I'm a briefs guy.
I'm a boxer guy. I like to be able to brief.
What do you think they would say when I tell them I'm commando?
I can say nuts, huh?
I mean, you shouldn't just go out saying it. It's bad.
Use
it's
your
bad
power.
practice.
What do you mean? I'm just saying.
Get it out of your mind, because when we go back in the FCC,
yeah, that's what I just was getting out now. Because you know what? Because I want to be able to breathe. I don't think boxer briefs allow you to breathe.
Yeah. So,
but you're a little.
What do you think a GM would say when I say I go commando?
Red flag.
Why is that a red flag?
I think it lacks structure.
Yeah.
Lacks.
You are reading way too deep into
But
this.
there's a reason why they're asking these questions, right? There's a reason.
Is there? You're saying you're happy you're getting away from these in the NFL Combine.
I mean, I am happy you're getting away from these because I think these are dumb questions, but they're asking them for a reason. They're not just trying to like make you look like a fool. I do believe and Tausch is right. We had Tausch on earlier, and he talked about how he received like a 300 question test, and there was a bunch of questions over and over. And I took the same test. It was ridiculous. It was like, an hour and a half. and there were repeats of the same question. There was a question. I'd be interested to see what you guys think of this. It was true or false. Football is the most important thing in my life. What would you guys answer to that? Like assume you're a draftee, right? Assume you're trying to. What would you say to that? True or false? Football is the most important thing in my life.
If I was a draftee, I would probably say true. I mean, my family's most important, but I would say true.
It's tricky because what they're trying to figure out is what your priorities are, but they want to make sure they're not too out of whack.
Here's what I would say. I would say false. And the reason why it's false is because family is most important for me. But I know that I've done everything in my career to get to this point to provide for my family. So although it's not true that football is number one, it essentially is based off of where my priorities are in life.
Is it a written exam or a true or false question?
Well, that's a good long form, but it was true or false.
Wait, was this written?
It was circled. It was circled.
Circle and then right.
Underneath
seriously.
10 other times.
Look at this.
The Scantron may not get this part,
this
but
guy
at least
wrote 100 words on family when this is a Scantron. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one, right? Because if you're going to be honest, I mean, football's not the most important thing in my life, but they might look at that as a red flag and be like, this dude isn't fully committed.
Oh, 100%.
But then some people might be like, his priorities are out of whack. So everyone kind of takes it different.
I think NFL GMs asking Ben boxers are brief, and I just want to see their face when Ben just says no. Just nope.
Yeah, but that'd be true. But back to that question of saying basically it's not your priority. Remember when Myles Garrett, I think they asked him something like that, and football wasn't his number one priority. He had other interests outside of football, and that became like a big storyline. The fact that, Myles Garrett has other things that he's interested in outside of football, and it's like it became a thing.
I know we're digital only right now, so I'm just kind of going wherever my brain wants to go. Myles Garrett is unbelievably attractive with his shirt off.
Oh, okay. Wow.
You ever seen Myles Garrett with his shirt off?
Yeah, I think I have.
He's ripped.
So you like muscular?
Unbelievably attractive. Was a little bit strong.
That was strong.
He looks like a gladiator for sure.
I mean, we did talk about internet search history.
Incognito
I've
search.
definitely looked up Myles Garrett with his shirt off.
Wait. Okay, I'm sorry, Brad. I know you got something to say, but what made you look up? Like I've seen enough of Myles Garrett with his shirt off.
I think it was Hard Knocks he was on or something. I was like, damn.
And so you said, damn.
How could you be that cut?
You said, damn, and so you wanted to look at more images, which to each their own. If you look up what you want to look up. I don't judge.
I will say.
You seem like you are, though.
No, if you want to look up Myles, I probably look up, other people with their shirts off, but you can look up Myles all you want.
We have talked about locker room life on this show before, and we've had our own experience of locker room and showering and seeing other dudes and stuff.
And
I'll tell you what,
self-confidence going down.
Because there are dudes, obviously, like Ben is. Like, there's other areas of self-confidence that could be shown more readily available in the shower. But just in general, when looking at these other NFL players, I'm sure it's the same way with basketball, these dudes are cut up. I would always just be like, man,
I'm so jealous.
I'm a flabby loser compared to how cut up these guys are.
Well, why didn't you lift as much as the other guys?
I tried. Honestly, at some point, there has to be a component of genetics. I mean, honestly, like no matter who you are, no matter where you came from, no matter what you look like, some dudes just carry muscle and some dudes just don't.
And you know what? I feel like I try harder at like the lifts and I try to eat better. Guy rolls up before practice, jacked arms, cut up, eats like a Subway sandwich 5 minutes before we go run around and practice. And I'm like, what the hell? I'd be pooping my pants in the stretching lines.
I know. I tried to eat pretty darn healthy, and other guys wouldn't care about eating healthy at all.
And
it doesn't matter position, whatever else. Some dudes are just cut and trim, and they put on muscle doing whatever they want.
Who's the Packer that you think of right away when you think of body?
Well, I haven't seen many of them their shirts off, but
Aaron Jones has such awesome arms.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't judge their bodies?
You have quite the fast. No.
Aaron Jones' arms are awesome.
Yeah, they're super cut.
They're so cut, man.
I'm sure
they're big.
Especially when the shoulder pad hits mid-shoulder, so you can still get the shoulder V into the bicep, tricep. Oh, I was always so jealous of that look.
I also like looking at the defensive linemen. Mm-hmm. Like they're huge, and watching those big bodies move around, it's incredible.
I feel like Quay Walker's pretty cut.
Quay Walker's cut, but I'm talking about if you see Kenny Clark chasing a quarterback, and I'm like, damn, Kenny. Like Kenny's moving and he's big.
Yeah,
it's just so impressive.
This is interesting. I didn't expect for this because I guess I don't live in the world where I'm judging these guys'
I'm
bodies
marveling.
like that.
I'm not judging.
I know marveling. No, marveling. Yes, like Myles Garrett. Yeah, I see it. But Aaron Jones, I haven't really paid attention to. He's kind of small.
But that's what's so impressive about how good he is, how strong he is. He takes contact. Like, he's not just a one-trick pony. He's not just like one of those patch-catching running backs. He can go through the hole. You can pitch it out wide. He can take contact, get extra yards. He can make a cut behind the line of scrimmage. Michael chimes in on YouTube. Clay Matthews was ripped. And great hair, too.
Yeah.
Very attractive.
It's interesting, too, about running
Are we
backs.
going with most attractive men on the football field right now in the digital only Kyle Brust-Nortman as Kyle sits silently because he...
I don't find... I can't think of too many men on the Packers that are attractive.
So I'm a straight man, but I think that there are attractive men.
No, I'm not saying that there aren't other men that are attractive. I just don't keep track of it, nor is it in my search or my incognito search of men with
I didn't say it was.
You said it could be.
I have looked up Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I mean, so that's why this isn't my wheelhouse of things.
Yeah, Michael says as well. He's with me. I thought Aaron Jones was not bulk, but is shredded. That's what I'm saying. He's cut.
Mm-hmm.
He is cut for that size.
I agree that he probably is cut. I haven't I noticed the bigger guys than I do like the smaller guys.
See, I think I noticed the smaller guys. You know who's also unreal? His body. Debo Samuel.
Debo ain't
Debo's
small.
like 240.
There's a reason
running 4.5 40. He's running through guys. And unfortunately, we've been on the wrong side of history in the 2022-21 NFC divisional round game as a 1 seed. It was 3rd and 7. They hand the ball off to Debo, and he gets 7 yards. That's how unbelievable his body is.
I think Debo might be his real name. I think it's a nickname, and it might be named after the character Debo in Friday the movie, who was the bully on the block back in the day, because Debo, definitely based off his body size and how strong he is and how he just powers over people, he definitely is a little bit of a bully on the football field.
You want to know who's an absolute tank that I played with? Jonathan Stewart.
Yes, Oregon running back.
Yes, dude was just he was a walking piece of muscle. It was ridiculous. I mean, that's when I was like, I don't belong making contact with anybody at this level, because offense, defense, whatever part of the ball you were, it was just these dudes, even if you're heavy, right? Even if you're an offensive lineman, these dudes have so much freaking muscle.
How do these quarterbacks, these defensive linemen and defensive ends, get off the edge and want to murder your head? Max Crosby literally wants to murder Patrick Mahomes, the Raiders defensive end, against the Chiefs quarterback. You name it, Bears, Packers, the physicality of those divisional games. How do these quarterbacks take hits from these massive men?
I don't even know. And I even think about it. I wonder if this is why we talked about this yesterday with Brian Balaga about the whole kind of cattle show of going up in front of everybody and just your spandex or whatever, and they judge you on your body. This is actually part of it, right? Because they want to see if you're a specimen. I remember. This is funny. So when I did this, you had to do it either at the Senior Bowl or you do it at the Combine. So I did it at the Senior Bowl. And
is this the underwear thing?
Yeah, the underwear thing of walking in front of everyone and going and doing it. So the person in front of me, I actually felt pretty good about, where I'm because it's always, I should also tell this one on air. It's you compare, right? Because you can't help but see oh, that dude's built like a brick house. And the next guy, you just worse by comparison. Guy in front of me, Kellen Moore.
Yes.
So, because it went alphabetical, right? Moore, Nortman. So I was I feel okay compared to Kellen Moore, as far as how we look in our underwear. So I felt pretty good about that one. I wasn't super humbled. I don't remember who was after me, but I remember.
Didn't matter.
I remember I was just I'm thankful that he's behind me and I'm go before him. He was probably thankful I was ahead of him too.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. I don't know. That was just one.
Very interesting. I told you. Now we're talking about Brad sitting here in line in his undies in front of NFL scouts.
It's amazing. I wish I was Brad sitting in my undies getting ready to be looked at by NFL scouts. That's cool.
I wish that was me as well one day, but that dream is
it's a little barbaric and gladiator-ish.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's not ideal.
Next up is Brad Nortman. Do a spin. Let's check out his back, his lats, his hamstrings.
Yeah. I mean, you feel exposed. You really do. You feel judged and exposed, and it's not like you're not prepared for it though. It's everyone knows you're about to do it.
It's just a waste, right? It is an absolute waste of time. Again, evaluating somebody's body like that, Not necessary, man. Like literally, have a doctor do a little quick checkup on the prospects that you have, or all prospects, right? And then go about it. What do you get from looking at somebody?
But if you're a general manager, you want to explore every part of this guy, right? Because you're putting your job. I mean, okay, let me back up. Let me say that again. If you're a general manager, you want to evaluate a lot of components, and one of those, as far as a football player, might be
You don't have to backtrack.
their body
We
type.
know where you were
That's
going.
true.
It just sounded wonderful.
And it's funny. It's on YouTube. I love it. A little bit of PG-13 version. So I'm okay with it. Like if I'm gonna give you a contract, especially your first round draft pick, and you're gonna make multiple $1 million a year, I want to see what you look like with your shirt off. I want to see if you're a specimen.
So as we move on from us, mostly me and Brad, talking about athletic specimens we've seen in the locker room that are just like, you just marvel. Like there's definitely more. There's definitely more that I've marveled looking at in terms of like beasts.
To each your own. There's a lot of beasts out there. To each your own.
And Kyle's out on this, so I'll turn it over to Kyle.
Yeah, I am definitely. I'm sorry, guys. Like, if you were talking about models or actors and things like that,
All right,
maybe.
we can.
No, I don't want to talk about models.
Well, then
I don't want to sit here and talk about women's bodies. That doesn't seem
Ooh,
right.
I got a question for you. So, do you think so? When an actor prepares for a role, like I'm thinking about like Gerald Butler, whatever his name is, for like 300.
300.
Yeah.
I saw like a preview for the new Roadhouse movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's like supercut. Do you guys give them like more credit then? Like, oh, these dudes are athletes if they're like training for a role, or these guys are just actors and they're just like playing the role?
No, I think they are true athletes in the sense of being able to train yourself to bulk up the way that some of them
you
have.
think actors are true athletes?
I mean, that doesn't mean they're superb athletes. I mean, I'm not saying they're NFL
Anybody
athletes.
can go to the gym and transform their body.
I mean, like a Michael B. Jordan,
Head of the Princeton Club.
the way he bulked up for Creed.
Yeah,
I
he
feel
was
like
jacked.
a pretty good athlete. I'm just even Gerard Butler, that's his name.
Yeah.
And Wolverine guy, like what they do to
Jackman,
bulk up and get bigger.
Ryan
for
Reynolds and,
Yeah,
like, Deadpool
that's
and stuff.
impressive, man. And another good one is Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't know his real name, but his name is Mac in the show.
Yeah,
Not Danny
Glenn
DeVito.
McElhaney.
Yeah, the way he got fat and then was able to cut the fat off, but he got fat for the role and then whoop, cut the fat off.
Yeah,
like that.
there's so
It's
many of
highly
these that I'm
impressive.
blanking on right now. I do find it fascinating.
Yeah.
That like they're like, but guess what? Money talks. And if somebody told me, "Hey Ben, you get to play a part in a movie and you make, X amount of money," scrambled eggs, smoothies, working out, like you can. They have more time than anyone to get their bodies right for their craft.
Well,
so
and
I'm not going to give them that much credit.
And these top dudes have personal chefs, and they're working out.
Exactly. I
Mark
give more
Wahlberg's
credit
pretty
to
jacked.
the average person who wants to change their life.
So you need to have money in order to motivate you to change your life.
Well, it's just like we don't have as much time. Like it's their job to get their body right for like being an actor.
Okay, that makes sense. That definitely. I just give them credit because it's a nice little transformation that they make. And rappers as well who make that transformation.
See, that's what I was thinking too, because I look at these guys, I'm like, man, they look like freaking specimens. But then I look at, like, for instance,
I'll
like
also
their
bet
Wikipedia.
the TV probably, like
lighting
the cameras
and, things like that.
and everything.
But I look back, I'm like, oh, this guy must have played linebacker in high school, or what, and they like never played sports. You don't have to be an athlete and have to play sports necessarily, but I don't know. I'm just like there's only a few guys that ever did that, so I'm like, are these guys like actual athletes and they just never did it and now they are, or do you think this is just like what Hollywood can do and just be like, okay, you can take anyone and
they probably take steroids if we're being honest.
Oh wow, for real?
Yeah, it's a quick fix.
Yeah,
Quick fix. I mean, I feel like there's some potential negative outcomes after you come off those roids. I don't think it's worth that, is it?
I'm not saying it is or isn't. I'm just saying if you want $10 million to be in a role as an actor, you might do steroids to get your body where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're going to give it to somebody else.
If you were offered like a superhero role for $10 million, but you had to take steroids to do it, would you do it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take steroids.
See?
How long?
I think I would too.
Yeah, I mean, 10
Probably
million.
6 months.
Ooh, geez, that seems like a lot. Well, I'll get on that Balco train.
Is that I don't know what
Barry Bonds is Balco. Remember Bill Balco? I think it's somebody Constantine, the dude that went to jail. Victor Conte, I think it was.
Michael chimes in as well on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Look at Blankenship and then look at Metcalf. Hard to believe they played the same sport. And that's what Brad and I were getting at. Brad was actually like one of those guys, but I would say at least for Brad, how tall are you?
6'3".
6'3", and you've been in decent like physical shape. You weren't like, I don't know, like what'd you put up 225 at the combine?
12.
That's like you're putting up double digits as a punter.
Yeah.
For 225. How many punters are doing that?
Most are putting up 10 plus, right?
Yeah, well,
I mean, you go 4 years in college.
it depends. I mean, some guys are like, they want to pursue that and be strong. Other guys don't really care that much. I would say 12 is above average. I'd say I put the average at like 9.
Oh, okay. I was the strongest of NFL punters. Good to know.
Of my draft
Not
class,
anymore.
at least.
No, definitely not anymore.
Whoever muscle was there is gone now.
100% gone.
Especially because you're eating French fries, stinking up this studio.
You know, it's so
How many
interesting.
225 did you do?
I did 8.
That's good.
Back at Whitewater. So that was
What did the starting quarterback do?
cornerback.
Yeah.
Here's the thing is that
Because your punch felt a little light when we lined up in here.
here's the thing is that it depends on the person. What I found was interesting is that some of those D3 players were stronger than like Division I players, could put up more weight than Division I players. It was very interesting to me.
That's
I
because they're
realized-
meatheads and they got nothing else to do with
and
lift.
they're just significantly less athletic. Significantly.
It's
Yeah, that's the big
they
difference, is the
channel all the
athletic.
muscle into just like building up bulk,
Yeah.
and they don't have the speed and athleticism that it takes at the next level.
Yeah, I mean, speed is a big part, and then just like gamer awareness. I feel like those are the things. I feel like a lot of people are strong, whether it be high school, college, or into pros, but I think the big difference is speed of the game, and then just like awareness, being able to think and react in a player fashion.
Well, I do know that the Milwaukee Brewers have ended their game on 94.5 ESPN, so there's post-game going right now. So for those of you on YouTube, we will be staying here until 5 o'clock leading up to the Homer Hour with John Anderson. And with that, we just went 29 minutes for you commercial-free and talked about bodies that really are shocking to us and how they're able to look the way that they do in the NFL and the pros. DK Metcalf was just mentioned, and
DK's built like a beast.
Oh, so now you're talking about DK.
DK, I mean, because I've seen him with his shirt off before. Dude is built.
Yeah.
Well built.
He's channeling my energy for Myles Garrett, but for DK Metcalf.
I mean, have you seen DK without his shirt on?
Yes.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's nuts.
have you seen him jump?
Unbelievable. Him and AJ Brown are both got great bodies, but DK's body is, and Miles is there too. But DK, he'll just stand up straight, and you just see a 12-pack. Dude.
So you want DK Metcalf cover of ESPN or what is it?
The bodies issue.
The body issue.
No, I don't know. I don't need that.
That's where I go. Where some guys, like, if I replicated what they do, I don't think I would look like that.
They need a dad bod issue for like
Yeah.
the baseball players and like some of the kickers.
Oh yeah.
Prince Fielder was on it. He was in the bodies issue.
And how do he look?
He looked like a athlete with a belly.
That's a very nice way of
He had
describing.
some big old quads. Definitely has some big old quads.
Yes. I was just going to do my natural radio reset, 800-990-3776. And if you want to text there, you absolutely can, as we will be coming live on 94.5 ESPN after the Milwaukee Brewers postgame show. Chris, get in my ear and let me know if they won to let the audience know. Lost 6-4 in spring training, which Brad is jealous of anyone who's going out there in Arizona.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but if anyone tells me they're going to a preseason game,
I hate when you say preseason.
Okay, no, hold on. I'm saying in general of all major sports. We're talking about preseason football, preseason basketball, preseason NHL. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, whatever. If someone tells me they're going to spring training,
Yeah.
the MLB preseason, and they're going to Arizona.
People mark that off. Like, people don't mark off, I got to get to a preseason Bucks game because half the time the players and the starters don't play. And then you got to guess if they're even going to play in the regular season sometimes with injury and everything they got going there, which they're trying to fix.
Yeah.
You look at preseason football, I mean, unless
it's pretty rough.
Unless you're a Hard Knocks team and you find some investment into root for the third team special teamer that's trying to make the team that makes a play like Vince Papale does somehow back in the back in the day.
pull.
I just like that.
And that's why I think that spring training is the best. I mean, you're talking about going to a warm weather climate, particularly Phoenix, Arizona, for the Milwaukee Brewers after a long winter here in Wisconsin. It's family friendly, it's casual, it's fun, it's affordable. It feels like an escape. It feels like a vacation. I'm not concerned if they win or lose. I get to know some of the prospects. Everything about it's fun, relaxing, warm, and enjoyable.
But you can make you can go down to Arizona, right, for a whole week, and you can make a trip out of it. That's part of something. You go to a couple Brewers games where a preseason game is still that hustle and bustle, the fact that it's just this one moment for NFL. Same thing for the NBA, where baseball is like, hey, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, hey, let's get ready to go to, and actually it's like noon there.
Yeah.
So, hey,
and then you got the rest of the night. Oh,
perfect
man.
game
I'm sure that
time.
Arizona is always
Yeah.
nice too, so it's probably 60, 70 degrees. Maybe a little bit warmer because it's probably that right now outside as we've been trapped inside an 80-degree studio, not getting the same air that many of you had a chance to do today. But yeah, you get to go enjoy the rest of your day in Arizona. I mean, that.
So great.
I'm with you. Did you run into somebody that sparked that? Did somebody tell you they're going to spring training recently?
No, I was just, I saw, I follow Brewers on my ESPN app, and I just started to see, they're playing games now. I'm starting to track it a little bit. And I have gone to spring training, I think 3 times. And it was maybe part of a general, Arizona spring break, and then you just go to a game or two. And every time I went, I'm like, oh man, it's so great.
Well, we're going to head to break for 30 seconds. When we come back, we'll be live on 94.5 ESPN. Back in 30, Chris? Back in 4 minutes as we take a break here. 4 minutes, and we'll be back till 5 o'clock leading up to the Homer Hour.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
He is now off his rocker saying it. Well, if I played...
Choke artist. Choke artist, choke artist, choke artist. That's what you both are. Yeah, I said it. You both are choke artists.
Losers, choke artists.
That's what you are. You
frauds,
choked against
what else are
TCU.
we?
You choked against Oregon. You choked against Kentucky. Y'all choked against Duke. I can keep going.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Things are wrapping up. We do still have some delays along eastbound 94 from about 84th Street through the Stadium Interchange and pretty much all the way through the Marquette. Westbound's going to be a little heavy from about 25th Street through the Mitchell Boulevard area, right in the Stadium Interchange. Everything else is looking pretty good. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny and breezy with a chance for showers and storms this afternoon with high up to 70 at the lakefront, 73 inland, and then the bottom drops out. Tonight, showers and storms turning cold and blustery, change over to snow with a low of 20. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
So why so much lack of love for, in my opinion, one of the 5-10 best players in the NBA when it comes to MVP voting and Jason Tatum of the Boston Celtics? You would think, and usually in situations like this, when a team has that kind of record, the best record in the NBA, and the best players making plays for everybody, not just for himself, he'd be a little bit higher when it comes to the betting charts and also the MVP voting. Not Jason Tatum. He's right in that mid, around 5 or 6, according to the betting odds. And not trying to give him love over other people, because Nikola Jokic or the Denver Nuggets, for my money, that's the best player in the NBA. He's retired that conversation, at least for now, like who's the best big man, who's the best player. It's him and everybody else. But there are a lot of men situations where the best player sometimes is not the MVP for that season. Jason Tatum, not saying he's the MVP so far this year, but the fact that he's below other people and not named Nikola Jokic to the Denver Nuggets says a lot about how much love he doesn't get, because people want him to win a championship before they give him the love that he deserves. All righty then. In 60 seconds, plenty of love for a legend.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information information by dialing 800-372-2017. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017. 800-372-2017.
It is really, really going to be weird that when I have a chance to read a column on Monday morning, one of my favorite columns is not going to be there. That is Football Morning in America for NBC Sports, written by the legendary Peter King. After 44 years, announcing his retirement from full-time writing. He cited the need to try something new and also that family time that I'm sure has taken a backseat throughout his legendary career. And believe me, I completely get it. Family time, that time is more important than any other time because you never get that time back. And even he said he thought about seriously retiring after last season when Kansas City had a chance to win that Super Bowl. And Andy Reid, the head coach, said after Peter King asked him, is he going to retire? Reid said, are you? So he had his retirement tour and nobody knew about it, which is a great retirement tour. But it's going to be a missing piece from somebody who always made us feel like family. Goodbye, Peter King. Good luck and God bless. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on 438 on KBN.
I was going to add that in if you didn't. That's Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Brust alongside Brad Nortman. We are Kyle Brust and Nortman with Chris Larson running the show. Brewers lose in their spring training game, but we got you till 5 o'clock here, leading up to the Homer Hour. 800-990-3776, 800-990-ESPN. We are also streaming on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. If you missed any of our show, which was Madison only from 2 to 4. You can catch that Wisconsin On Demand or on YouTube. We started this thing on ESPN Milwaukee at 4 o'clock, and we essentially just started marveling over wonderful bodies of the NFL. My favorite Packer body is Aaron Jones. I think he's shredded. I think he's cut, and I love Aaron Jones. I love his Wipe Me Down first down dance as well. DK Metcalf, Myles Garrett were randoms to come to mind. So I didn't plan on asking you that, but if you're listening and you think somebody on the Packers is really ripped and attractive, you can send that in 800-990-3776. But what we did do is we were pretending like we were in the NFL Combine because Brad, our longtime NFL punter, actually went through it. And he got no hard questions asked because our guy didn't get bad grades. I don't even know if he's got a parking ticket on his resume.
I did get a double scooting ticket. So there was a girl my freshman year who
Bradley.
Now hold on. Neither of us were drinking. We were at a party. It was late in the winter time. She was like, I'm gonna go home. I'm like, I'm going home too. Separately. She's just a friend, obviously. And I was like, you know what? I don't feel good about just letting you walk home. I'll just double scoot you back, right? And it should be like a 3-minute scoot. So this is like 12:30 at night, 1 o'clock.
When you say scoot, for those that don't know, at UW-Madison, a lot of the athletes drive the 50cc scooters. Yes. I had one.
Of course. What kind did you have?
I had the Yamaha Zuma.
Oh, me too.
But I souped mine up. I used my scholarship money. I got performance tires, a performance kit, a performance exhaust. I got my scooter to go 55.
No!
Thing ripped. It was so loud. People were really annoyed by me.
That's unbelievable. Yeah, mine maxed out at like 37.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, so it's illegal to put more than one person on it because it's like a lower grade 50cc engine. But I was like, I'll be fine. So sure enough, about 1 minute in, vroom, 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 I'm going there. She's holding on tight. I see the red and blue lights. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Did you not talk out of that one?
I did. I was like, neither of us have been drinking. She was going to walk home alone. I just wanted to offer her a ride. And the officer was just a jerk. He hadn't anything about it. He had like a $150 double scooting ticket.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then when I started dating Lexi, my now wife, I was always like, babe, you can hop on back and I can double scoot you home. We double scooted probably 20 times. We
Nice
double
dropping,
scooted
Chris.
probably 20 times together and never got that ticket. That's how
She
you
was
knew it
the
was meant
one.
to be. It's meant to be.
How many $150 tickets would you have paid for double scooting with Lexi before you said hit the road and you're
Baby,
walking?
I'm done driving you. Infinite. She's
know
worth
what?
everyone.
He made her double. You could have got her a scooter. He didn't get her a scooter then.
I'm not gonna
He
get-
goes to the
okay.
Charlotte. He goes to the Charlotte Panthers, and they have to share a car.
Well, hold on. College, you know this, Ben. College
I know.
athletics back then.
I'm just
I was
saying.
skating by.
It just makes more sense that like you were like, hey, we got by double scooting in Madison. Now that we moved out to Charlotte together, we're gonna share a car.
You know what I should have done? Should have held on to the scooter and said, hey, baby, here are your wheels. Dropped her the
No, you should have
scooter.
scooted your ass
should've
to
scooted to
Carolina
practice.
Panthers practice.
It wasn't too far away. You said it was a 5
Yeah,
minute drive.
5 minute
It
drive.
was probably 3 miles away, less than that. It was both downtown.
You could have scooted. You know, I had a scooter as well. I used to scoot everywhere.
Oh, yeah?
On campus and in Milwaukee. I used to scoot all the way from the northwest side of Milwaukee all the way basically to like right in Buffalo in Milwaukee.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys scoot in the wintertime?
Oh yeah,
No, I did.
Going to lift. I one time hit the rear brake a little too hard at 6 a.m. in the morning, and you had the best way. You got to throw it.
Yeah, you bail out.
You bail out. You lose that back tire. You got to throw that scooter, and then you just slide with the ice.
Yeah. I'd have to do that once.
And then
too.
had some bruised up knees going to lift, and had to cover those up before the lift coach got into the locker room.
And then the key is there's like that pad, like that platform to put your feet on.
Mm-hmm.
You put your feet on the side, so you're kind of like skiing a little bit, right? So you put your feet on the
I didn't
outside.
like doing that because
You didn't?
the feet for you too. If you fall and your leg gets caught under there, that's like the golf cart theory, man.
I thought
true.
you're supposed to, when you fall, I fell once. When you fall off it and you feel it going, you're just supposed to like turn it to the side and slide.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like
yeah.
you throw it and then you just kind of slide.
Yeah, I guess most people. I feels good. Have you fallen off your scooter?
I did.
before?
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Well,
did.
it feels good that we're reconnecting here. That we all fell off our scooter once.
800-990-3776. Were you going anywhere with this other than the fact that you got the double scoot ticket and then didn't bring your scooter to Carolina and then had to share a car with your great now wife?
No, because it only came up like in the combine. What can we dig up on you legally? That's all they had. It's like, oh yeah, what were you doing?
You
that
have
night?
nothing else other than the double scoot ticket?
No, yeah, I mean that's it.
So you've never gotten a parking ticket?
Well, I mean, yeah, parking tickets, but like, come on, I'm not bringing that up.
So how fast do you drive?
Oh, okay, we're talking about forever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I was hoping you had a
I thought you
speeding
meant
ticket.
of consequence, like big legal troubles. No, yeah,
You brought up scooting. You brought up
$150
double
Hold on,
scooting. So
I thought we were talking about college for one, but now we're opening it up to life.
Yeah, have
and
you
any
got a
citation.
speeding
Yeah, I've
ticket?
gotten speeding tickets.
All right,
I got
good.
one in Summit like 3. 4
I hate to
months
say,
ago.
oh, good, but like I was like, come on, like,
Yeah. No,
give me something on Brad that he did wrong.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So I haven't gotten a ticket from the police in a very long time.
You haven't?
No, I got caught speeding one time. I was at a red light in Whitewater. I was in
Don't
a
put
rental
this
car.
in the air. Don't put this energy out there, Kyle.
Listen, I drive at a good speed limit. I really do. I go 8 over most of the time.
How fast do you turn?
How fast do I turn? I usually
You said
slow
you
down.
drive like a Kia boy. Kia boys don't
that's
go
not-
8 over.
In Milwaukee, I might go to the right hand lane to pass people up, but I go 8 over.
I'm judging you.
You can judge me all you want. If move around, I got places to be now.
All right. Now, one of the questions we were asking each other for our dream jobs was if it was a requirement, if you were applying for your dream job and they asked, will you give us access to your internet history, would you do it? 800-990-3776. That poll is up on Twitter at KBN ESPN. 43% of the people say yes. 57% of people are saying no. For the opportunity for their dream job, they would not give their internet history. What is wrong with people?
That dream ain't meant to be, clearly. You ain't finna expose me. It's not meant to be.
You don't want it bad enough. You clearly don't want it bad enough if you're afraid of that? Afraid of a little judgment?
Like the Jaguars call you. I'm throwing out a crazy hypothetical.
Yeah.
Well, you're Mr. Irrelevant, and the team calls you. We'll take you with the last pick of the NFL draft, but you got to give us your internet history. What do you do?
Take it. Take it. Here are my passwords. Here's it all. I mean, look, because the reality is I don't have anything that I'm like too embarrassed over my whole life. But the things that I am, look, I'm not a perfect person. So everybody has looked up things that they're either trying to figure out or whatever. And, I'm sorry, but take it. I don't care. I'm not afraid. I'm not going to let the fear.
What do you got on there, Kyle?
I don't even
keep
know
me
if
from my dream job.
What do you got on there?
I don't know if I should say these things because the 7 things you should never ever search on Google, and this was posted a couple months ago in August. The one of them is 2 girls. You guys know how that ends. Smoker's lung. Mr. Hands. What do you think that is?
What are you? This is what you're looking up?
No, this is what they say you shouldn't look up.
I was actually looking up my search history.
I'm following the first one.
Oh, my search. You're following the first
Well,
one.
the first one, like everyone from our age knows.
Well, yeah, I'm just looking up things that people may look up that you'll be
the video
weary
that
of.
is disturbing.
Have you seen that video?
I have not seen it. Thank goodness.
Of course, my incognito ass has.
But I don't understand smoker's lung.
Look it up on your phone.
No. You just said we can't.
You can
shouldn't Google these
You
things.
can look it up on your personal phone. I don't search anything, so I'm not concerned about that. I told you guys my search. I don't search anything crazy or wild.
Nursery rhymes. Trying to figure out which ones I need to sing. How many ounces do you give a 2 week? How many ounces can you give a 1 week? Barbecues. Getting ready for summer. Patrick Beverly age. Because he's old.
How old is he?
See, there is if I ain't lying, guys, I skipped over a lot in my history right there.
I'm gonna say Patrick Beverly was like 2 weeks ago.
I know, I still skipped a lot.
2 weeks ago, yeah. Mine.
I skipped a lot.
You are nasty. Mine are literally nothing. It's it's
it's nothing.
Mail, Kyle Wallace Outlook. 7 things you should never, ever look up. Packers threw it with Jordan Love. A gift card for 3rd Street Market Hall. Anders Carlson is on the hot seat. More email. Top 5% of graduating.
These are your searches?
These are my searches. I once got Alibaba leads record deal. Like I look up a lot of stock stuff, and Reggie. I looked up Reggie Miller yesterday because he said that he can beat. He sent us a video, and then you also said you can beat Caitlin Clark at Women in Basketball, and Reggie Miller.
Did you see the video I sent you guys? We talked about this.
The worst of the worst.
Oh, that was so funny.
It is. It's funny.
No, you said the worst of the worst.
Yeah, but the worst of the worst, I never looked like that ever in my life, and that is professional. I'll go back. This was the KBN Academy question.
Cheryl Miller would give you the business. She's your height, and she can shoot just as good as you can.
She may, but I'm quicker, and I'm stronger, and I'm faster. That's why there's 2 different leagues. It's that simple.
Cheryl Miller used to give her brother the business when they were teenagers.
I don't believe. How old is the gap in age? She must have been older and he's younger.
I think there's maybe like a 5-year age.
Cheryl did get buckets.
Yeah, for sure.
She got buckets for real.
There's no way that Reggie Miller at his best would lose to Cheryl Miller.
1 year.
No chance.
He said it.
Puberty hits sometimes I think the females faster.
Okay,
a 2-year age gap, and he said his sister used to beat him in basketball.
He was a late bloomer.
He got drafted like top 15 in the NFL.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. He's a Hall of Famer, I think.
He most certainly is.
Absolutely.
Most certainly is. And he said his sister used to beat him, so I'm just saying, Cheryl could have gave you the business, Ben.
So we didn't take a break here before 5 o'clock because of the Milwaukee Brewers game. So we're going to keep you here till 4:58, leading you up to the Homer Hour. That was us continuing to ramble basically from our digital-only show that we were doing up until 5:34. But we are an actual radio show. We are Kyle Brust and Nortman. I'm Ben Brust alongside Packer backer Kyle Wallace. Brad Nortman, our longtime NFL punter. Second place Brad, as we call him. And Chris Larson running the show. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. And we are on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. But where I do want to finish up is where we started. And if you missed anything, go to Wisconsin On Demand. But I thought it was interesting that at the Combine in Indianapolis, I saw a lot of the Packers beat reporters and media meeting with Goody, and I felt a sense of confidence. And I'm not knocking him for the confidence, but I did think it was a little bit interesting how far he went with the question of, do you think, this team can win the Super Bowl next year? And he says, I do. We do not have that audio. Now, the way I would do it, because when you're at the top of the top, you can get knocked down to the bottom as quick as you're at the top. I mean, that's life. And so I know I just nailed the Jordan Love pick. I know I just have the opportunity coming off of Jordan Love in this young season of young assets at really key positions. And this is a big draft. 4-3 in the defensive scheme changing. If I'm Goody, I'm saying, look, do I think we can win the Super Bowl? I'm really encouraged with what Jordan Love did. We're really focused on getting Matt whatever he needs to be successful on all three phases of the football game, because special teams haven't been great. We need to be better there. Defense is going to go through transition. I got to do my best job to provide the best pieces possible for Matt on the defense and Coach Halfley. Matt, I trust with the offense. We're always going to be optimizing there. I think we have the pieces. We got to put it all together, but I truly believe we're heading in the right direction as the Green Bay Packers to get the ultimate goal done.
Whenever a figurehead, or a player even for that matter, speaks to the media, you have to remember they always have the opportunity to basically say nothing. They always have that opportunity. That's what you're coached on. That's what you're told. Don't give them anything of substance. Don't let anything that can be headline worthy. So just go easy on whatever you say. Brian Gutekunst could have said exactly what Ben just said.
I said it pretty good, didn't I?
He said it pretty good. And he decided not to. He said, I do believe this team can win the Super Bowl next year. That is a statement. It's powerful, Torey Lowe style. And I think he doesn't mince words. He only talks to the media, 5 times a year?
Not much.
So he knows the impact of his words. And I think this is a new Goody we are dealing with. I think he is a confident Goody. He is a Goody that knows his abilities to evaluate. I think he has high hopes for this team. So that is a very important short phrase answer for that question.
It's a man with confidence and a man in control, right? Now he fully has control over all of the roster decisions. He doesn't have to worry about his star quarterback, future Hall of Fame quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers going to the media talking about the lack of activity that he's doing, wanting these different players, bashing the guys that they have on the roster. He now has full control over his vision, controlling the vision of what he wants this team to be. And so for him to move on from Aaron Rodgers and watch this team be so successful in year one with a lot of pieces that he drafted even as recent as the last draft in 2023 make an impact on this roster, to see the quarterback that he drafted, he traded up and drafted, go and execute the way that he did, to now in the 2024 season, he is a top candidate for the NFL MVP. He should be confident. He should be talking about that because he feels like the vision, the plan that he laid out, he saw it work and execute to a great level last year, and he knows adding the pieces that he believes he needs to fit into this puzzle, the Green Bay Packers team, is going to lead to a Super Bowl title for this team. So he should talk his stuff.
Yeah, he can talk his stuff, but I mean, when it comes to the proclamation, I do think it's bold, and it's a little bit outside of what Green Bay does. They are very much we have our standard. We're 1265. We're title town. Every year that we go into the season, we expect to win the Super Bowl. And Kyle, you echoed that earlier as a fan, and that's what you expect. But to show that confidence and like that overconfidence, I'm not going to sit here and act like I've loved everything Goody's done. Look, he landed Jordan Love. That saved his 2020 draft class. Outside of that, we can say last year was pretty good. But we were saying a lot of the guys like Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, I think we liked what Quay Walker was trending towards, but he didn't take a step. So there are guys that are going to regress, but also we're talking about Van Ness, Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt. Those are three first-round draft picks that you need to have a huge impact, 2 of which that have really only shown flashes, and you need those to be cornerstones of a defense to help win a Super Bowl if you're going to be a draft and develop team. And Eric Stokes is hurt.
Yeah. I mean, Goody...
Georgia! Who said it yesterday? The damn Georgia guys.
Yeah, you need to fix Georgia. Him nailing Jordan Love automatically catapults him to a high tier of NFL GM. If he didn't nail that, I wonder how his evaluation would be different, right? Like, let's say Jordan Love was just average. Let's say he was just like an okay quarterback who it's like, I guess he's a QB1. There's really no other better option. I would judge him much harsher than I do now. The fact that he got the quarterback, which is a huge decision, and he leveraged his career on it, so you can't take that away from him. But outside of that, he's had some hits, he's had some misses. It's the only way to put it. But the hits, particularly the quarterback, big hit.
Yeah, he's had hits at quarterback, but also we can't ignore the fact that it seems like at the receiver position, at the offensive weapon positions, at the offensive line as Mark Tauscher talked about earlier when he joined us, is offensively he has hit it in a lot of different places. Now defensively, there still are some holes they need to fill, but at the end of the day, he hit home runs last year in the draft for this team offensively, and a lot of those guys contributed.
I want home runs on defense. Like before I can trust Goody fully from a draft perspective, I want home runs on defense. Since Jair, who's been a home run on defense? And even Jair last year sat out of games due to injury and was suspended.
Sean Gary has home run moments.
Yeah, but I mean, they signed him to an extension.
Pay like a home run.
And they did restructure him to make cap. But
outside of that.
But that was 2019, I believe.
Yeah, that's true. Long time ago.
Oh yeah, he's missed defensively on these guys.
And so you want to have faith. I want to see some of these defensive guys actually hit before I'm like, I trust Goody with everything. It's been a circus for us today, but I enjoyed it. We were on from 2 to 4 in Madison, 4 to 4:34 in Milwaukee's YouTube digital only, and with you now from 4:34 till 5 o'clock for Homer to take over. It's the Homer Hour on a Tuesday with John Anderson up next in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
The chefs are 7 and